The most iconic boss fights in gaming history. What's the most iconic boss fight you've ever experienced? Was it one that pushed your skills to the absolute limit? Or maybe it was one that left you speechless in awe? Because let's be real, boss fights are where games truly shine. It's the culmination of everything you've worked for, the ultimate test of your gaming prowess. And today we're counting down the most legendary, the most unforgettable, the most iconic boss battles in gaming history. Get ready to relive some of gaming's greatest moments. We're kicking things off with a certified classic, a boss fight that took the gaming world by storm back in 1996. We're talking about the one and only Bowser, and his explosive showdown in Super Mario 64. Now this wasn't just any boss fight, this was Bowser, King of the Koopas, in glorious 3D for the very first time. And trust me, it was a game changer. Picture this, you're standing on a giant floating platform, a swirling galaxy sky stretching out around you, and in the center of it all, Bowser. He's charging, breathing fire, and generally being a giant spiky nuisance. But this wasn't just about landing punches or dodging fire blasts. To defeat Bowser, you had to use Mario's acrobatic moves to grab him by the tail, swing him around and launch him into one of those conveniently placed explosives. It was a battle that required precise timing, perfect aim, and a whole lot of courage. And let's not forget the sheer satisfaction of finally sending Bowser tumbling into those bombs. This fight taught a generation of gamers to think outside the box, to use their surroundings to their advantage. And that, my friends, is why it deserves its place in the pantheon of gaming's most iconic boss fights. From the whimsical world of Mario, we journey now to a realm of magic, swords, and a villain so iconic, so etched into gaming history, that his theme music alone sends shivers down our spines. The moment you hear those first few notes, you know something monumental is about to happen. That's right. We're talking about Sephiroth, the one-winged angel himself, and his unforgettable final showdown in Final Fantasy VII. This battle is not just a test of skill, but a test of endurance and strategy. This wasn't just a boss fight, it was an opera of despair, a ballet of blades, a clash of ideologies played out on the grandest stage imaginable. The stakes were higher than ever, and every move counted. As soon as those haunting notes of One-Winged Angel began to play, you knew you were in for something truly special. The music itself was a character in the story, amplifying the tension and drama. This was Sephiroth, the fallen hero turned nihilistic god wannabe, a villain who had haunted Cloud and his companions for their entire journey. His presence was a constant reminder of the stakes and the personal vendettas at play. And this wasn't just a fight for the fate of the planet, it was personal. Every slash, every spell cast was charged with emotion. The battle itself was a spectacle of epic proportions. The scale and intensity were unlike anything gamers had seen before. Sephiroth, with his flowing silver hair and impossibly long sword, moved with an almost ethereal grace, unleashing devastating attacks that could wipe out your entire party in an instant. His movements were both beautiful and terrifying. But it wasn't just the challenge that made this fight so memorable, it was the emotional weight behind it. The story had built up to this moment, and the payoff was immense. This was a confrontation years in the making, a culmination of betrayal, loss, and the struggle against seemingly insurmountable odds. Every gamer felt the weight of the journey leading up to this point. Even today, over 2 decades later, the imagery of that final battle, the swirling lifestream, the desolate wasteland, Sephiroth's haunting silhouette against the moonlit sky, remains seared into the minds of gamers everywhere. These visuals have become iconic, representing a pinnacle in gaming history. The Sephiroth fight wasn't just about pressing buttons and hoping for the best. It was about strategy, about exploiting weaknesses, about using every tool at your disposal to survive against a force of nature. It required a deep understanding of the game's mechanics. It was a battle that tested not only your gaming skills, but your emotional resilience as well. The emotional stakes were as high as the physical ones. This boss fight wasn't just a battle, it was an experience, a story in and of itself. It was a moment that defined a generation of gamers and set a new standard for what video game storytelling could achieve. Hold on to your sneaking suits, because we're diving headfirst into the world of espionage, stealth, and one of the most unique, unforgettable boss battles ever conceived. This is not just any ordinary encounter, it's a test of your skills, patience, and strategic thinking. We're talking about the End, the ancient sniper, with a connection to nature unlike any other, from Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. This character is not just a boss, he's a legend in the gaming world. This wasn't your typical boss fight. It was a battle that required more than just quick reflexes. This wasn't about brute force or flashy special effects, it was about outsmarting your opponent. This was a battle of wits, a game of cat and mouse played out across a sprawling jungle battlefield. Every move you made had to be calculated. This was a fight where patience was your deadliest weapon, and every blade of grass could hide a deadly secret. You had to be as silent as the wind, and as still as the trees. The End wasn't your average run-of-the-mill villain. He was a character that demanded respect. He was a legendary sniper, a master of camouflage, a man who could literally photosynthesize to heal himself. His abilities were almost supernatural. He was one with the jungle, a phantom lurking in the shadows. His presence was felt even when he wasn't seen. You could try to go in guns blazing, but good luck with that. Such an approach would likely end in failure. The End was a master of disguise, blending seamlessly into the environment, his sniper rifle trained on your heart from who knows where. He could be anywhere, and that was the real terror. You could spend hours searching for him, only to find yourself staring down the barrel of his rifle before you even knew he was there. It was a game of nerves as much as skill. This fight was all about strategy, about using your environment to your advantage. Every rock, tree, and shadow could be a tool or a trap. You could use your own stealth skills to sneak up on him, employ camouflage to blend in with your surroundings, even use your trusty sniper rifle to engage in a long-range duel of marksmanship. It was a test of who could remain unseen the longest, but there was more to this fight than just finding and defeating the End. It was about understanding your enemy. You see, Metal Gear Solid 3 was a game that thrived on its characters, on the relationships formed amidst the chaos. Each encounter was personal. The End's boss fight wasn't just a challenge, it was a lesson in patience, strategy, and respect for a worthy adversary. It was a battle that left a lasting impression on anyone who experienced it. From stealth and shadows we journey now to a realm of epic fantasy, a battle for the fate of Hyrule itself. This is a land where legends are born, and destinies are forged in the heat of combat. We're talking about Ganon, the King of Evil, and his climactic showdown in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, a battle that defined a generation of gamers. It was more than just a game. It was a cultural phenomenon that left an indelible mark on the hearts of many. This wasn't just a boss fight, it was the ultimate showdown between good and evil, a clash of destinies played out against a backdrop of fire and fury. The stakes were higher than ever, and the tension was palpable. This was Link, the hero of time, standing against the embodiment of darkness, the beast that had plunged Hyrule into chaos. Ganon's malevolent presence was felt in every corner of the land. The stage was set. Ganon's crumbling castle, a monument to his twisted ambitions, now crumbling around him as his power raged out of control. The atmosphere was electric, a palpable tension hanging in the air as you squared off against the source of Hyrule's suffering. Every move, every decision, carried the weight of the world. And then, the music hit. Those iconic opening chords, a blend of menace and majesty, sent shivers down your spine as you realized the gravity of the situation. The music was not just a background score, it was a herald of the epic confrontation to come. This was it, the final stand, the culmination of your journey. Every trial, every challenge had led to this moment. Ganon was a force of nature, a hulking beast of shadow and flame, wielding a trident capable of shattering mountains. His attacks were devastating, each blow threatening to end Link's quest then and there. The margin for error was razor thin. This wasn't a fight you could win by button mashing. This required strategy, patience, and more than a little bit of courage. Every move had to be calculated, every strike precise. But this wasn't just a physical confrontation, it was a battle against despair itself. The darkness threatened to overwhelm not just Hyrule, but the spirit of the hero himself. Ganon, in his final form, represented the darkness that lurked within Hyrule, the potential for evil to consume even the purest of hearts. His transformation was a testament to the corrupting power of unchecked ambition, and Link, the young hero thrust into a destiny he never asked for, stood as a beacon of hope against the encroaching shadows. His courage and determination were the last line of defense. With a mighty swing of his master sword, Link banished Ganon back into the darkness, sealing away the evil and restoring peace to Hyrule. The land was saved, and a new era of hope began. From the epic scale of Hyrule, we shift gears to a world of quirky characters, heartwarming stories, and a boss fight so intense, so utterly chaotic, that it's become the stuff of legend. That's right, we're talking about Sans, the pun-loving skeleton with a heart of gold, and his unforgettable showdown in Undertale. Now, this wasn't your typical beat-the-bad-guy scenario. Undertale was a game that defied expectations, that turned the RPG formula on its head. And Sans, despite his goofy exterior, was a character of surprising depth and complexity. He was a brother, a friend, a protector, and in the end, your judge, jury, and potential executioner. The battle with Sans took place in a stark black and white judgment hall, the weight of your choices pressing down on you with every passing second. And as that now iconic melody, Megalovania, began to play, you knew you were in for something truly special. Sans's attacks were unlike anything else in the game. He was fast, he was unpredictable, and he didn't play by the rules. He could manipulate time and space, dodge your attacks with ease, and unleash a barrage of bone-chilling projectiles that filled the entire screen. This wasn't a fight you could win with brute force. It required lightning-fast reflexes, a deep understanding of Sans's attack patterns, and a whole lot of luck. But what made the Sans fight truly special was the emotional weight behind it. This wasn't just about defeating a tough enemy, it was about facing the consequences of your actions. The Sans fight wasn't just a boss battle, it was an emotional roller coaster, a test of skill, and a powerful message about the choices we make. So, there you have it, our countdown of some of the most iconic boss fights in gaming history. From the 3D platforming revolution of Super Mario 64 to the emotional gut punch of Undertale, these battles have left an indelible mark on gaming culture. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. The world of gaming is filled with countless other incredible boss fights, each with its own unique challenges, memorable moments, and lasting impact. Which boss fight is your favorite? Did we miss any legendary battles? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic gaming content.